Welcome back to Comical Opinions. This is Gabe Hernandez, and today we have a review of The Agent, number 3 from Ablaze Publishing. And in this issue, Lieutenant Rhym and Sebastian become partners on the hunt for a terrorist planning a mass murder, but a mass murder using magic. So, yep, we're in for a wild ride on this one. But before we get started, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell for notification. Your attention is greatly appreciated, and make sure to stay tuned to the end for the final rating and score. So let's get into the credits. The Agent number 3 is written by Matthew Gabella, art by Fernando Dagnino, colors by Carlos Morote, letters by Vibrant Studios, and the cover art for cover A, the main cover, is also done by Fernando Dagnino. But before we get into this issue, let's recap where we were last time. So Lieutenant Rhym sort of is getting a hint that there's some kind of weird happenings going on in her drug dealer turned murderer investigation. Uh, Sebastian, who is the sorcerer or warlock, if you will, who is trying to track down the same killer, who's a drug dealer, is also crosses paths with Lieutenant Rhym and recognizes that she has some sort of latent abilities. When Lieutenant Rhym and her colleagues go out to do another drug bust based upon her seemingly magical intuition that something's about to go down, she crosses paths with the drug dealer killer again, who uses magical bullets to assassinate everyone, but Sebastian manages to save her at the last minute. That's what happened in the last issue. Now we pick up with this issue where Sebastian visits Lieutenant Rhym privately and explains to her in no uncertain terms that there is magic out there, that he uses witchcraft to help him with as part of a special group that is designed to track down magical criminals and killers and terrorists and all kinds of weird, terrible people, and that he recognizes that Lieutenant Rhym has a special ability. She is a tracker or some kind of person with intuition that can resist magical charms, but at the same time find criminals or bad people doing the things that she wants to stop them from doing. So she resists a lot, almost to a fault. Thinking that everything he's telling her is just nonsense and BS. But eventually, he manages to convince her to kind of start intuiting where this drug dealer killer is going to be. And surprisingly, or I should say unsurprisingly, it works out. They track him down to a location where they find an abandoned truck. And when the police are called in to do a crime scene investigation, they find almost nothing but the police dogs they bring in to sniff out the killer's direction where he left off to all of a sudden turn into rabid killers, and Sebastian manages to calm them down before they hurt anybody else. And through that course of that investigation, Lieutenant Rhym and Sebastian figure out that the man that they're chasing is planning a plot, or is developing a plot to kill a lot of people, and he also happens to be a werewolf. So that's the issue in a nutshell. What are the positives? What do we like about the Agent number 3? The magical system that Matthew Gabella is developing is interesting. It's sort of magical, but there's a very grounded, practical feel to it. It's almost like a different form of science. There's certainly some mystical elements to it, but it's more along the lines of there are rules, there are plants and herbs, there are sigils that you can use. It's almost like a learned trade or a learned craft. Although there are people who are born with it, some of it can be taught. And so that sort of makes it interesting, more like a trade and a skill rather than something ethereal that you can't get your arms around. And it gives it a very grounded feel and a very believable and relatable feel. Um, Lieutenant Rhym takes a very long time to come around to accepting what's right in front of her face, but when she does, you start to get a sense that she's growing and evolving into becoming the potential magic user that she wants to be. And Sebastian already knows that he's intending to recruit her, maybe not right away, but that those seeds are planted pretty clearly right from the get go. What didn't we like from about the Agent number 3? Lieutenant Rhym's resistance to Sebastian's explanations is essentially when he's showing her proof. There's one particular scene where they go to the morgue to visit her dead colleagues, and they show her how the bullets are magical, and how they are able to find their heart and the head of the targets, but she's still resisting. She's still acting like it's somehow fake. So she's resistant almost to a fault, and it becomes kind of silly after a point. So even though she does eventually start to come around, it sort of gets a little bit irritating that somebody who's a police detective who investigates based upon evidence and facts is shown the evidence and shown the facts, and yet she's still resisting. So it's weird, and it's sort of kind of odd for her character, and it just sort of like, oh, come on, are we really? Especially at issue number 3, we're still resisting that magic isn't real, but yet it's happening. So that's that. A quick word about the art. Fernando Dagnino's art is excellent in this issue, especially when some of the magical um, events take place. It's that same mix of, you're clearly seeing something supernatural and whimsical and ethereal and interesting, but it's placed very well integrated inside a grounded setting and with grounded characters and a grounded atmosphere, so you can believe it. And that's kind of the big trick of something like this, is when you're doing these sort of urban type fantasies, is you have to believe that the magic can exist within the everyday world around us. And Dagnino does a great job with good character designs, good lines, clean lines, and all the magical things that happen feel like they could feel authentic to the setting that they're in. They don't sort of come out of nowhere with this big flashy stuff that just really doesn't seem practical. So final thoughts. What do you think of about the Agent number 3? We, generally speaking, like this issue. This is a good issue. We're still sort of getting our feet under us as far as we're at, I should say, issue number 3, and not quite all the way there into being hooked into the issue, or hooked into the series. But it's intriguing. We like Lieutenant Rhym, like Sebastian. We like the kind of, now the stakes are higher because now we know that this terrorist is something special and he's planning to kill a lot of people. So now we have stakes, we have a goal, and the story's starting to pick up momentum. So overall, the series is picking up steam and doing a good job of it. Rhym's resistance to believing that magic exists is a little silly at times, but overall, it's a good issue. Therefore, we're going to give the Agent number 3 an 8.5 out of 10. Hope you enjoyed this review. Before you leave, please like, share, comment, subscribe to Comical Opinions for more comic reviews and analysis every week. And you have a great day.